Mackenzie Gore, who otherwise may not have been fantasy relevant in 2020, could become a fantasy darling this year. I love it. It makes for waiver wire additions. It makes for interesting trades. These expanded playoffs to me are just exactly what the doctor has ordered. Now, I want to talk a little bit, since it is opening day. I've got some material on opening day, and I want to give you some all-time records. You know, we start today with a 60-game season and 30 teams with a chance, except for maybe 2. I don't really think Seattle and Baltimore are relevant playoff teams this year. I just don't. But I think the other 28 could be. So as for opening day, here are a few time opening day stats. You got to have a minimum of 10 opening days to rate on my board, but here you go. Who has the highest batting average historically, minimum of 10 opening days in Major League Baseball? Well, one player, you're going to recognize the name of the other one. I had to go look him up. With both having 467 averages on opening day, Gabby Hartnett and Jeff Kent. How about that? Most home runs on opening day. And Lenny mentioned this player earlier. Frank Robinson with 8 and Ken Griffey Jr. with 8. I'll slow down and give the chat room a chance. Most RBIs on opening day. Anybody have an idea on that one? I'm not going to give you much time because I got to continue my show. Doug Boyle knew the Cubs. I love it, Doug. The Cubs, Gabby Hartnett. I mean, not just a name we typically know on an everyday basis. You talk about great players of all time, rarely do I hear the name Gabby Hartnett. But that's where I'll leave it for Doug Boyle to come up with a great answer. Most RBIs on opening day. This is historically now, not active players. I'm going to talk about active players in a few minutes. I'll give you that chance. We'll go through some active players who you want to have in your lineups on opening day. But all-time RBIs, it's not a big, this one should be easy. When you think baseball, who do you think? You think the Babe. Babe Ruth, 22 RBIs on opening day. All-time OPS, all-time, 1.366. Tie a Yankee and a Red Sox. And this isn't really a hard one either. Ted Williams, the Splendid Splinter, and Babe Ruth, who has the most wins pitching on opening day. Minimum of 10 opening days now. The Train. Walter Johnson with 9. He also has the best ERA at 1.31. And now let's get more modern day. We go from the Train to the Unit. The most strikeouts on opening day, 107 by Randy Johnson. Those are some stats that now you can leave and go out today and say, Arnie told me who the all-time leaders were statistically on opening day. And if you forget, you can text me, you can call me, and I'll remind you. There have been 4 3-home run games in opening day history. How about these? Do you know who they are? And I'm going to start telling you the three players with 4 home run games in Major League Baseball history. Let's start furthest back in time and work forward. And it's not that long ago. It's my lifetime. And I'm pretty young, right? 1988 with 3 home runs on opening day. George Bell, Toronto Blue Jay. Tuffy Rhodes, 1994. Remember Tuffy Rhodes? Doug Boyle does. Chicago Cub great. Boy, I got some Cubs with Gabby Hartnett and Tuffy Rhodes. Dimitri Young, 2005. And most recently, Chicago White Sox great Matt Davidson, opening day 2018. The gold standard, if you will, for opening day pitching. I don't remember this one. Lenny, do you remember this one? Walter Johnson's 15-inning shutout in 1926 I do remember Clayton Kershaw's opening day shutout, and he hit a home run too, 2013. So there's some historical facts on opening day. Now, don't you feel better? Don't you feel good that you got that information and you can put it in your pipe and smoke it, right? Now, let's talk about current players and how they have been so good on opening day. Let's start with Colorado Rocky extraordinaire third baseman Nolan Arenado. Yes, Nolan Arenado with 6 opening day games. He has a batting average of .417, an on-base percentage of .462. Don't you love the stats? I tell you, I got ready for this one. There's no fluff today. I got numbers, I got names. You better take them down. And a slugging percentage of .875. That puts Nolan's OPS at over 1.3 on opening day. In those 6 opening day games, Nolan Arenado also has 3 home runs. Last year on opening day was his worst ever opening day. He went 1 for 5 with a double. He had multiple hits in the season opener every year, 2015, 16, 17, and 18. And he hit 10 for 21. That's a .476 average with 2 doubles and 3 home runs the last 5 years. His 10 hits and his 21 total bases during that time lead all active players. And we know what kind of masher he is. So, Nolan Arenado. Now, on the flip side of that, there's this side and then there's that side. Charlie Blackmon has been the worst opening day hitter in baseball the last 5 consecutive seasons. He leads all players with 25 opening day appearances, but statistically he's only 2 for 22. That's a .091 average. Arenado's is .476. Well, make of that what you want. And you're right, Donkey Yoki. For the last 3 seasons on opening day, George Springer has homered. What an interesting stat. You got my next note. I love it. We'll do that. The chat room knows their stuff, right? And that's why you need to stay tuned to Lenny Melnick FantasySports.com and Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports. We're going to give it to you. We're going to help you through not only your baseball season, your fantasy season. This is the place to be. All right, let's talk about the new $1 million baby, Mookie Betts, on opening day with 5 opening day games. He's hitting .429 on opening day with an OBP of .478 and a slugging percentage of .714. Shocker, huh? Shocker. We've talked about Arenado and Betts, 2 of the best 10 players in the game already. And he's had multiple hits in 3 of the last 5 opening days, including a 3-hit effort last year, and he's hit 2 home runs too in 2016 and 2017. He is 9 for 21. That's a .429 average with only 3 strikeouts in his last 5 season openers. And now tonight, you get to see Mookie square off against the Giants at 10 o'clock. Over or under? Mookie Betts gets 2 hits tonight. Over or under? Give me what you think. Another player who is extraordinaire on opening day is Oakland's Chris Davis. That's right, Oakland's Chris Davis, extraordinaire on opening day. And, well, he had a bad year last year. He was hurt. He's had 2 forgettable opening days. 1 for 8 to begin his 5-year period. But they don't prevent him from making the list. How about this? He went deep twice on opening day in 2017, once each in 2018 and 2019. So that means in 3 consecutive opening days, he's hit 4 homers, at least 1 home run, in each of the 3 past opening days. So Chris Davis joins George Springer on that list, but he's one better because he's hit 4 compared to Springer's 3. Good morning, Phil Chaplin. Good morning to everyone watching. And this is my first morning being with you on both Facebook, on the network together. I guess it's called a simulcast. So we're doing a video, we're doing an audio. It's great to see you. I've already had calls from Sirius XM and ESPN, but I want to talk to you guys first. Okay, so we're going to do all that. Chris Davis, here you go. Check this out. Since going 1 for 8 in 2015-16 on opening day, from 2017 through 2019, the last 3 opening days, 6 for 13 with 4 homers. Freddie Freeman. Now, we know Freddie has been suffering from the COVID virus, just recently back. Yeah, Chris with a K, not Chris with a C. The Chris Davis I was just talking about is Oakland Athletic designated hitter Chris Davis. And if you're playing daily fantasy on opening day, why not take a guy who on opening day has homered in each of the last 3 seasons and during that period 4 home runs? Freddie Freeman. Only a few days ago, he's back in camp. Freeman has had at least 1 hit in the last 5 opening days, including 3 in the 2017 opener. He's 7 for 16 with 2 homers and more walks 4 than strikeouts 3 in those 5 games. He's even managed to hit one of his career 22 triples, and you know Freddie Freeman is not the fleetest of foot. But in his 9 opening day games, he's hitting .313 with a .417 OBP, a .677 slug, and 3 home runs. Bryce Harper. I mean, just 1 second. I dropped a note. Bryce Harper had 2 home runs on his first career opening day, 2013. He's had 7 opening day games, during which he's hit .375 with an OPS of 1.500. That's right. 5 home runs. Wow. Now, we know last year he went 0 for 3. So take that out of it. But he's still 6 for 16 with 3 homers and more walks 5 than strikeouts 4 in his last 5 opening day starts. Only Arenado at 1.522 and Freeman at 1.509 have a higher OPS than Harper among players who started each of the last 5 opening days. And then there's Jock Peterson. Now, probably not in the lineup tonight against Ty Block because of the lefty-lefty situation. But he leads all active players with 10 RBIs on opening day over the last 5 years. Only Arenado has more total bases than Jock Peterson's 20. Peterson is 7 for 16. That's a .438 average with 4 doubles, 3 home runs in his 4 opening day starts since 2015, including a Grand Slam opening day 2017. In his last 5 games, opening day, Jock Peterson, .412 average, .421 OBP, and a 1.176 slug. Woo! That's pretty strong, isn't it? I'm telling you. So, these guys start out great. They're players you want to put in your starting lineup on opening day, and most of them are going to be anyway, right? Moustakas, Cincinnati Red addition, and we love the Reds this year. How many times have I talked about, I think the Reds win the Central. Some are picking them to win, well, not win maybe, but make the World Series. Of course, anybody could win this year. But Moustakas is 6 for 19. That's a .316 average. In his last 5 opening days, has at least 1 extra base hit in 4 of those games and only 2 strikeouts. Wow. And I got to shout out this guy. He's retired now. And We got to talk about him. Adrian Gonzalez.